Saturday Social is powered by FIFA 22 with PlayStation.
Let's talk transfers, Joe, because 9 days left of the transfer window. And it means we're going to bring back our true or false item that we did last week, but we've upgraded it.
We have.
Gone are the A4 sheets of paper. And look what we've got in a reply. Look at these.
PVC, mate.
Tennis bats with true on one side.
Wow.
And if you flip them, false on the other. Do you want to explain how this is going to work, Joe?
PVC perfection. Look at that. That must have cost
no expense spared.
Lots of money. Yeah, we've got 7 statements about 7 of the biggest transfer rumours throughout the last 7 days. 7's all round. Shout out Len Goodman. Yeah. So we're going to be reading out the statement. We're going to ask our guests whether or not they think it's true or whether or not they think it's false. So they're going to have 30 seconds to explain their decision. Let's start straight away then. First up, we've got Anthony Martial. Obviously, off the back of that Instagram post, continuous rumours about him leaving Manchester United. So the statement is, true or false, Martial will never reach the heights he once promised. It's a very negative start, that is. It's a very negative start, but it's a tough one. So what are you thinking? Show us your paddles. Oh, a pair of trues. A pair of trues. Wow. OK, we've got 60 seconds on the clock, 30 seconds each. Dave is the United fan. 30 seconds, go.
Right, if we look at Lionel Messi, 7 Ballon d'Ors. Each of those seasons amassed a total of 394 goals. We break that down on a season-to-season basis. That's 56.28 goals per season. Anthony Martial in the Premier League has scored 56 goals in 7 seasons, which means he'd have to times that by 7 to get anywhere close to winning the Ballon d'Or, which was in the contract that United signed in the deal to Monaco for 7.9 million. And that's probably me done.
That was that's almost like 5 seconds of clapping.
Good luck, Nicole.
Okay, so some statistics. No, you know what? I'm just going to go for the basics. He was very hyped up. He's obviously a talented player, had a lot of potential when he first went to Man United. That comes with high expectations, and he just hasn't lived up to it. He's had moments, obviously, right? Let's not do him a complete disservice, but he's too inconsistent. And I think he's still only 26. He might go elsewhere and become a kind of new player, but I don't see it happening. I don't think he's ever going to kind of live up to the hype that everyone kind of had for him and these high expectations.
Perfect timing, Nicole. Look at that.
Professional.
Unbelievable. Good start. Next up, we're going to talk about Christian Eriksen. I think he's one that we can all agree. We really hope that it's great for him because it's great to see him back after what happened, of course. The next statement is true or false. Signing Christian Eriksen guarantees Brentford's survival. Now, bear in mind, of course, he's a free agent. 8 Danish players in the Brentford squad, and of course he knows Thomas Frank as well. So true or false? What are our guests saying? False. OK, Nicole, 60 seconds on the clock. Why did you say false?
You know what? This is a lovely story. I think we'd all be so happy to see Christian Eriksen playing back in the Premier League. I think it's more. I think he would fit in very well into this Brentford side. I think he would provide leadership. I think he'd contribute to goals. But I think they'll be OK. I think that's more my point, my angle here, is I think Brentford are all right because the teams around them, the low end of the table, are so bad that I think they'll be safe. So I don't think it would all be on Christian Eriksen that would be this hero to keep them up because I think they'll be all right anyway. OK, Dave?
I kind of agree with that. I think they will be OK. The only problem is that the form's been pretty awful recently. Eriksen will bring a quality to them. You know, the assists in the Premier League got 62, which is more than the likes of Ozil, Mata, Paul Scholes. He's got the quality there. But I do think that for Brentford, if there's going to be a struggle, it's more on the goalkeeping department that's going to be the problem. David Raya was so good. His ability to hit Tony and get them up the pitch was so important to their style early doors. So I feel that is a little bit more important than signing a playmaker. I think defensive solidity is more of a situation they're going to deal with.
OK.
All right, good timing yet again. Next up, we've got John McGinn, another Manchester United rumour here, heavily linked to the club. I think this was in the Telegraph. And this statement is true or false. Signing John McGinn will fix Man United's midfield problems.
Nicole is laughing, by the way.
Good luck.
Listen to Joe's
Good luck answering this in 60 seconds. OK. Let's see your answers first.
Oh, Dave's
I'm torn.
Dave,
get off John.
We're not allowed fence sitting. No.
False. OK.
False.
As the Man United fan again, we'll come to you first. Go.
I love John McGinn. I think what he gives that Villa midfield as a box-to-box role is fantastic. United have got Fred, they've got Scott McTominay that can do that. United need a 6. They need someone like Bruno Guimaraes from Lyon. Fantastic footballer, top in Ligue 1 for passing into the final third, progressive passes, through balls, but also tackling-wise, he's got a bit of physicality about him. Only 2 players have got more tackles from midfield in Ligue 1, 2 destructive midfielders, Benjamin, Andre and Tchouameni, of course, linked with the Premier League. So I think that he would be a perfect guy to sort that 6 problem. McGinn, though, is an 8, I'd say. So I don't think it's quite right.
Yeah, Nicole?
I would say that that's a lot of pressure on one signing. Like John McGinn, I do really like him. I think He's got great energy. He would work very hard. I think he would do well in this Man United side, but I don't think he would fix that area. I think they need to make a few midfield signings as well. I don't think he would be the solution. And also, he's not maybe that big star signing either. I like him, though. I do rate him. I think he would do well there, but he's not the answer.
Imagine how much he cost as well to get out of Villa.
Yeah, a lot of agreement with the guests at the minute so far. So next one. Now, this is important because this was brought to our attention by a tweet that Dave actually had. So Dave put this tweet out this week, which said, would Jesse Lingard be a great signing for Newcastle? Look who's on his quote sheet.
Who screenshotted that? Who screenshotted that, Smithy?
In the replies. Look, and Dave says, I'm only coming on if you show my tweet that Alan Shearer replied.
Some plug for the Statman Dave Twitch channel.
Yeah.
It's a great channel, look, you know, it's all football.
It is a great channel, I can agree with that. So the statement that we've got is as follows. Jesse Lingard, true or false, is too good for Newcastle. I didn't write that one, I'm just reading it out.
That is so hard.
I didn't write that. True or false? What are we saying? Oh, they disagree with this one. OK, so Nicole, you say true. I'm going to come to you first. Why do you say true?
All right, Newcastle fans, please don't come for me. I say true in the sense of Jesse Lingard would be too good for Newcastle if they get relegated because he's better than a championship club. And I think it's obviously quite likely that they are going to get relegated, although they've got the cash to make some good signings, which they have been doing. I think you look at what he did when he went to West Ham. He looked like a new player. He was incredible. He was confident. He was scoring goals. And he could be great at Newcastle. He could be that star man. I think it could work very well. But if they get relegated, I think that he is better than that.
But you disagree, Dave?
I disagree. I think Jesse needs to move to a club where he's going to play within a system that works. I think Eddie Howe's system's kind of geared for him. Eddie Howe does like playing 4-4-1-1. You look at Joe Linton, you know, he's turned into a great box-to-box midfielder, tackles, wins the ball back, but he misses these chances, underperforming his XG by about 4 over the last 2 seasons, whereas Jesse in that spell for West Ham overperformed his XG by about 3. If he can continue that hot streak, that'll be goals, and that is what Newcastle need. And I think for Jesse, he just needs to play football, so he's not too good for anywhere.
OK.
There we go. All right, next up, we've got Ousmane Dembele, heavily linked with a move to Liverpool, of course. His contract's up in the summer, and the Barcelona board have said he's not signed a new one. We want rid this month. So the statement we're going to read out is true or false, Ousmane Dembele would start for Liverpool.
Oh, my God, I was going to say, really?
I was going to say, this is an obvious one, surely. Dave, take us away, 60 seconds.
I think first and foremost, Ousmane Dembele, what a talent. You know, the ability he's got off both feet is incredible. He scored 45 goals in league competitions and the Champions League. The interesting part there, 24 with his right foot, 20 with his left foot. He's so two-footed. But boy, does he get injured. 102 games missed in the last sort of 5-6 seasons. That, you know, equates to, what, 3 La Liga seasons, if we break it down just like that. He's not going to start for Liverpool. High octane, high pressing. He's going to basically pull a hamstring within the first week. So he wouldn't start.
That's exactly it. I mean, a great player, like Dave said. No one's kind of doubting his quality. The problem is, you won't get to see it because he's always injured. And, of course, he wouldn't start for Liverpool. Are you mad? Look at that squad. Who's he going to start in front of? Mane, Salah? Absolutely not. That would never happen. I think he'd be a good signing as a cover option, as a backup. But he would never make it into that starting lineup ahead of those players. It absolutely wouldn't happen. No.
OK. There we go. We'll rattle for you the last few. Next up, we're talking Newcastle again. Of course, Diego Carlos, we're linked with him, but it looks like that might not happen as we believe. So the next statement is true or false. Newcastle defence is unfixable this season. Once again, I didn't write this. I'm a lot
Smithy's hammering Newcastle.
Negative Newcastle. I don't not saying that. That's the 60 seconds on the clock. What are you going with, Dave?
I think I'm going to go with
this season.
False.
This season.
OK, 60 seconds on the clock, Dave. Why are you saying false?
It's a tough one. It is a hard thing. I think Lascelles has been pretty poor in the last few weeks. I think a centre-half is needed, whether it's Sven Botman, Diego Carlos or anyone. They just need to bring someone in. But I think you look at the Trippier signing, that's a great signing, creates the chances. But the big thing with Trippier, what we forget about him, really tenacious in defence. He's aggressive, he wins tackles. I think it was 5 in the last game, which is very good for a full-back. So I feel like it is fixable. There just needs some business to be done. And Diego Carlos, he's aggressive. I watched him when he was linked to Manchester United. I had a little deep dive into him. He's not a defender I would sign. It's a little bit like Pepe at Real Madrid, where he's a bit crazy, a bit aggressive, but could, let you down.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Isn't that going to be a potential problem? He might be a bit reckless as well. I don't even know what I'm going for here. Because kind of false. Because if we're looking at this season, I think it's potentially too late. I mean, the Trippier signing, I think, is a great one. We know, look, they've obviously had a terrible season. That's not going to offend Newcastle fans, I don't think. Defensively, really poor. But they are making those signings. And if you've got the cash, then you can kind of fix anything.
Spend it. Yeah. Spend it. Yeah. Let's finish then very quickly with Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Of course, returned home early from AFCON, but stripped of the captaincy. There's rumours that there's interest from Saudi Arabia in his signing. So true or false, Aubameyang should stay at Arsenal? Ooh. Both of you gone for false. You're the Arsenal fan, Nicole, take us away.
Yeah, I mean, it's done. I think Aubameyang's time at Arsenal is over. I think there's been too much that has happened now. He's not played for Arsenal since, I think, the start of December. Him being stripped of the captaincy by Mikel Arteta, I think that was the right decision. I think he's had too much drama off the pitch, not shown those leadership skills that you need to have. And I think it looks like he's ready to move on. I think he knows his time's come to an end. So for me, as an Arsenal fan, I think it's done.
Get your calculators out. We're going to go in again.
Here we go.
£50,000 per week equates to £50,000 per day since Aubameyang signed that deal to become an Arsenal legend. It's been around 70 weeks and 3 days. That is equivalent of £24.7 million. He scored 20 goals in that period, which equates to 1 goal every £1,235,000. It's not really worth it.
Can I just say as well, Dave has got no script. He's not rid of that. Is all in his head.
The paddle drop is one of my favourite moments in Saturday social history.
I just worked it out.